Welcome back to the Kempire Daily YouTube channel, your number one source for pop culture news and music, entertainment, reality TV, and so much more. Sad news that we continue to report on in our country. We lost these three young men from the University of Virginia yesterday in another mass shooting here in the United States. I did want to take a moment just to celebrate their lives and send out prayers to their families, friends, and all of the students affected by this horrendous event. The person that did this was a former student and has been since arrested. But I did want to say their names because so often we see photos of victims, but we don't know their names. So starting from the left, this is Devin Chandler. In the middle is Deshaun Perry. And on the right is Lavelle Davis Jr. Prayers to the families and friends and students of the University of Virginia. And shout out to everyone that watches us. Hold on, y'all. Let me switch. Shout out to everyone that watches us in the DMV because I know all of you were greatly affected, along with our country, were greatly affected by hearing this news yesterday. And I know we have people in our community that have children and students or are alumni of that university. CNN was reporting, and this is just a reminder. I know I hate to get in this political realm, but you have to when these things continue to happen. How do we stop these things? Prayers are great, but we also need our elected officials to do something. So according to CNN, these are the current stats for this year alone. This year alone, they said the killings are among at least 68 shootings this year on U.S. school grounds. All right, including 15 on college campuses. This year alone. The incident also is among some of 600 U.S. mass shootings this year in which at least 4 people were shot, excluding a gunman, according to the Gun Violence Archive. Prayers to them and their families and everyone at the University of Virginia. Okay. Welcome back to the Kempire Daily YouTube channel, guys. If you don't know, this is our Tuesday Takeover where we talk about a variety of reality TV news. Those of you that watch me on TikTok, I apologize. I had to end the live. There was some sort of connection issues. Look, technology. Yesterday, we had a little bit of a technology issue. So bear with me. Everyone in the chat, I'm assuming you can hear me loud and clear, but let me know. You guys are also producers here. You're helping keep the show going and flowing. We have a lot to cover. So let me open my notes. As you saw the thumbnail, you guys want me to be that guy. You want me to be that guy. You always want me to report on sports. So I'm going to report on some sports in a second. All right. I do have, normally Tuesday Takeover, I always want to start off with some good news. I had to start off with a moment about what was going on at the University of Virginia. But in some lighter news, Below Deck is coming back for season 10. Okay. All right. So Below Deck is coming back. The original, not Below Deck Med, not Below Deck Adventure that we recap a little bit on Thirsty Thursdays. All right. Same time. So Below Deck, they've released the first 7 minutes of the season premiere. Captain Lee's back. Chef Rachel is back. But you may have seen that Chef Rachel got into it and was sort of blasting Bravo on social media. So I'm assuming this was all filmed before that situation. If you don't know, Chef Rachel is a little, kooky. She's kooky, but she's good TV, I guess. The food supposedly is really, really good. But our boy Frasier, he is going to be Chief Stew. I think that's the first time on the original Below Deck. I think it's been done maybe in the other ones. If not, he's the first. And I'm excited for it because, when we talked about Below Deck last time with Frasier, I was like, I love him. I think he's funny. I think he might be not the second coming of a Kate Chastain, but close. So we shall see. That season's coming. It's coming November 21st. November 21st. So next week, we're going to get the season premiere, season 10 of Below Deck. And of course, it will be on Peacock the next day. Run me my check, Bravo. You're welcome. All right. All right. And I have to say, look, some of the other Below Decks I have not gotten into, but Below Deck, the original, the OG, it has my heart. Last season, I don't know. Last season, I don't know. But as you know, every Tuesday Takeover, we cover a variety of reality TV. And since we're talking about Below Deck and we're talking about Bravo, we have to talk about Bravo releasing the first 3 episodes from season 1 of The Real Housewives of Durban. So many of you have been asking me to recap, some of these African shows, and I would love to, but without me breaking the law, it's a little hard. It's a little hard. Okay? But when I was abroad, it was a little bit easier. So I did watch a couple of episodes of Durban. But this past Friday, and a lot of you were criticizing Bravo, and rightfully so, criticizing Bravo for not promoting that they were going to do this. Well, they did it like a couple hours before. No, not a couple hours. Maybe like a few hours that day. And shout out to our friends over at OMFG Reality TV, because they always keep me in the loop when it comes to what is going on when it comes to this reality TV stuff. And they were the first ones I saw that said Real Housewives of Durban is coming to Bravo this past Friday, the first 3 episodes. So I watched the first 3 episodes. I even rewatched episodes 2 this morning. Before I got, caught up. I had another story. So be sure to check out that Wendy Williams story that I posted before this live. I have to say the first 3 episodes, because I'm a straight shooter. I think the first episode was a doozy, because in the first episode, this woman, hold on, let me bring her up, Lola. Let me bring her up. This woman, Nanku, and you already know it. Look, I apologize in advance for my pronunciation, okay? So Nanku, first of all, she says she's 41. And look, Nanku, this is no offense. When you said you were 41, I was like, look, hey, crazy beautiful lens. I have been getting your message. I've been so busy, so I have not been able to respond. I want to cover it. I am trying to talk about it during our recaps here during Tuesday Takeover. I don't know if I'll be able to do a separate recap just because time. And now the holidays are in full swing. I have it's a lot going on right now. I got a lot going on. But shout out to our friends and family over in Africa, because the email that I got this morning, stay tuned. I can't say anything else. I can't. So I watched The Real Housewives of Durban, and I was like, okay, I'm in, because in the first episode, all of you have told me this before. In the first episode, we find out that, hold on, let me bring her back up. Nanku, she goes to Ayanda, who is a music mogul. Her husband recently passed. Apparently he was a big gospel, artist. So he has passed, but apparently he had a relationship with Nanku and had a baby. That's a hard 41. Nanku, I'm sorry. I just gotta say it like it is. That was the first thing that came in mind. Still beautiful woman, but when she said she was 41, I said, where? 41? Moisturize? And for all you people that say good black don't crack, it does sometimes. Damn, I'm sorry. But I have to say, episode 2 and 3 were interesting, but it was episode 1 for me. Sarisha, I'm assuming Sarisha is Indian, right? I'm assuming because they had like that's where everyone met. Sarisha was hosting at her beautiful mansion. beautiful home, an Eastern celebration. And I have to say, yes, we have a good cat. Oh, wait, not them. Hold on. We have a good cast of women here. But I thought the messiness of Nanku announcing at the dinner table. She's like, first of all, when she met Awanda, she was like, "Do you know me?" Ayanda was like, "No." And I believe Ayanda. I wonder if any of the other ladies kind of knew. Annie was like, like there's an elephant in the room. What's going on? According to Annie, she didn't know. She didn't know. So she was like, damn, I shouldn't have been pressing for this. I shouldn't have been pressing for this. No, you shouldn't have been pressing for this because look what you started. But she says at the table, oh, I'm sorry. I keep forgetting to tell you what she said. So Nanku reveals at the table after much pressing, not that much pressing, that her firstborn child, the father, is Yawanda's late husband. I know what you're thinking. How does this all turn out? I have to give it to these ladies. They were very classy about it. It didn't turn into like combative fighting or anything like that. I mean, they shaded each other later when they retold the story, but you know, people do that. And I'm going to mispronounce your name. I am so sorry. He's a celebrity stylist, and he's also Yawanda's best friend, Pufu. Look. I apologize, Africa. I apologize in advance. He is a character in itself. He is shady, and he's gay. Look, and he's gay. Look. He looks like a baby though. But he's achieved a lot of things. Yawanda has her good Judy, as they would say. And so she retells what happened at this party. I have to say, so far, the cast is good, but right now the stars are Yawanda and Nanku. I don't know how I feel about Annie. I don't know how I feel about KG. I think look, I'm not gonna even try and butcher her name. Okay? But we get to see the first 3 episodes on Bravo. I believe another 3 episodes will be coming out this Friday. But the first episode, it pales in comparison to episodes. Episodes 2 and 3 pales in comparison to what we see play out in episode 1. But I'm always interested because we see these housewives. They're doing all these different businesses. All of them are doing all these kinds of interesting different things, like exporting, importing. I'm like, what is that? What is that? Interesting. I'm here for it. We only got to see the first 3 episodes. I mean, if you are abroad and you have Hey you can see it on there. Just saying. And I was tempted to try and figure out a way. Exactly. Lamara says it's all on Hey. So if you have Hey in your area, you can do it. And if you have a VPN, okay. And I know all of you are waiting for me to talk about some of the other African Real Housewives franchises that have come out, but we have talked about them before. If you missed it, we've talked about the Real Housewives of Johannesburg when that was available on Discovery Plus. So we have talked about some of the ones that become available to the States, because I also want the larger audience, the American audience, to be able to know what I'm talking about. Sidebar, for those of you that have forgotten, Young, Famous, and African, they're currently filming season 2. We've talked about that. They've been renewed. That will be coming back, I believe, in 2023. And we will be talking about it. If you missed our recaps about that, be sure to check that out. And our side stories. All right, guys, if you're just joining us, this is our Tuesday Takeover, where we talk about a variety of reality TV news, and pop culture news. Don't forget, we will be live again on Thursday for our Thirsty Thursdays live party. And our Thirsty Thursdays will be only for a certain period of time. Once we get back to certain shows, that will automatically become that We'll see. Look, we'll see. We'll see. Be sure to check out last week's episode of Thirsty Thursday. Let me move on. So again, this Friday, 3 more episodes will be available for the Real Housewives of Durban. We'll talk more about it during next week's. There won't be a next week. I'll do a separate video where I'll talk about it because next week is a holiday week here in the United States. All right. Let's move on. Because I have to talk about because I know why a lot of you are here. It's okay. Like the video if you haven't already. Okay, let me take this off. Let me pay attention to my notes. Let's get into family karma since we're talking about Bravo. Congratulations to them, Risha and Vishal. I can believe that we had 2 episodes, episode 1 and episode 2, and it's all about their wedding. Okay? It's all about their wedding. But I have to, she was a beautiful bride. The amount of money that was spent for this wedding in Mexico, I can't even imagine. And I know a lot of you are assuming Bravo paid for it. No, they did not. Look, no, they did not. I really don't believe that they did. So this wedding was beautiful. Vishal was annoying per usual. I'm not sure how I'm feeling about Anisha. When last time we talked about episode 2, when we did our Married to Medicine and Family Karma recap, I told you, I think I figured out who her husband is. I'm not liking Anisha because Anisha, and I liked Anisha. I think she's funny. I like her on the show, but her alienating her friend group right now is such a turnoff. I'm just like, girl, you get a man and you act brand new. Really? So I'm a little turned off by her, but it's not about her. In episode 2 of Family Karma, this is their 3rd season, and we watched it together on TikTok. It was just all about all of the traditions of an Indian wedding. Last week, we were just, I was like, damn, they're not married yet? No. And then when they actually get to the wedding, I think I have a picture of the wedding too. There we are. First of all, that head wrap that he has, gorgeous. He had it specifically tied on. You say you could buy it pre-tied, but no, he had it tied on. It looked so good. First of all, this picture alone is gorgeous. Remember, they've been together for over 10 years. And I think they even broke up at one point. She met Vishal through Vishal's best friend, Amrit, because she went to law school with Amrit. First of all, her dress took how many days? Oh my goodness. Gorgeous. Gorgeous. And I love how they just mix their traditions because, of course, it's not just an Indian wedding. It's the cultures within the Indian culture that they've also included in this wedding. At one point, even though it wasn't holy at the time, they were doing holy traditions, throwing, all the colors around. Okay, of course, Vishal being immature, drinking a lot. His speech at his wedding was so awkward. I thought it was going to start off awkward, then get better, but it didn't. Oh, Vishal. It didn't get better. But before I even get to the reception, the wedding itself, I didn't realize how long the wedding is. First of all, an Indian wedding can be up to 7 days, okay? But theirs, I think, was like 3 days. The actual wedding ceremony, they're all, mind you, it's 99 degrees in Mexico. They're sitting out there in the heat. And of course, which was very creative, they hand out, what's happening in the wedding in these little popcorn containers. And that's how people know, but also they're able to eat. We see the people sitting there melting, some people falling asleep. I did not know. I know I said I wanted to go to an Indian wedding. Now I don't know if I could keep up. Y'all. Could you keep up? Just watching it, I was tired. And this is an edited version. I don't think I could do it. I don't think I could keep up. So I know I said I was going to get me an Indian boob, but now I'm like, I don't think I can. I don't think I can. But that night, because it's not over, after they had that long wedding ceremony and they're finally married, we have, they do the dances and they do have the speeches. Ropa's speech, and no matter how you feel about Risha's mom, her speech was beautiful. And then at the end of the speech, she made us laugh. I was just like, okay, Ropa, all of these I think, look, the kids are great, but it's the aunties for me. It's the parents that make the show. They're so just naturally funny. Naturally funny. I did miss Anisha's mom being there. Anisha's mom being there. Did Anisha's mom say that she had like 2,000 people at her wedding? 2,000 people? I don't know 2,000 people. I'm sure she probably didn't know everybody there either. But 2,000 people? Jordan says, "Can you keep up?" Make me lose my breath. Okay, Destiny's Child. Guys, we have almost 1,000 people on YouTube alone. Shout out to everyone watching on Facebook as well. Hold on, let me move I have way too many screens open, y'all. Way too many screens. Data's on Facebook. Tracy's on Facebook. What's going on? Vicky, what's going on? Guys, don't forget to like the video. It's an easy and free way of supporting not just my channel and not just my platform, but other platforms that are similar or report similar things. All right? Vishal, that speech was trash. I didn't love the fact that you were drinking as much as you were drinking. I get it's your wedding, but it's still like, come on. Vishal's never going to change. He's never going to change. And Risha, if you like it, I guess we will love it. I guess. All right. I'm looking forward, though, to Amrit's wedding, the gay Indian wedding. They're not going to do it as big, but I did see a photo from the wedding. Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. It looks so good. It looks so good. I'm looking forward to it. T-Lou says, I don't know 200 people. I don't know if I know 200 people. Oh, like, I probably could easily invite 200 people because my family's big. But people I actually want there. All right. Jacqueline says, I don't know 100 people. Danielle says, I've only seen celebrities and politicians have that many people at a wedding. I can see families doing it because a lot of times families are inviting friends of clients and things like that. But when I think of my wedding and who I want to be there, it's less than 50 people. It's less than 20 probably. Okay. Let's move on because we do have so much to cover today. So much to cover. All right. And I will be talking about Buying Beverly Hills on Thursday. So be sure to check out that live that we'll be doing on Thursday. I'll be talking about Buying Beverly Hills. I was originally going to talk about it today, but we'll talk about that at length on Thursday. Just because we just have so much to cover. So much to cover. Okay. Sidebar. Ramona's not returning to Bravo. She won't be on Real Housewives of New York Legacy. Some people say that it was because she was dogging the Legacy idea and the people that they were having on it. I wasn't surprised. I feel like Bravo has been trying to distance themselves from Ramona because of everything that has gone down on Roni. I've been hearing rumors about what's going on with the Roni reboot. Stay tuned. I just want to wait and see. So Ramona's gone. The time that we had with Ramona, the early years, okay. Classic moments. We've moved on. Bye, Ramona. Bye, Kyle. Okay. All right. I want to make sure I'm covering everything that I want to cover. Okay. Let's take a little bit of a break from reality TV and talk about some pop culture news. If you're new to Tuesday Takeover, this is where we talk about a variety of reality TV news, and pop culture news, and sometimes sports. Look. Okay. Sometimes sports. Look, I think it was last week or the previous week we were talking about Emi Udoka. Oh, an update. Update on Emi Udoka. He didn't get the job at the Brooklyn Nets. Oh, whoa. That's your karma. Oh, okay, wait, no. In all fairness, apparently he's very good at his job. And that woman that he had the affair with, I don't know what her consequences is. I know she's still working there. Apparently she's chummy with executives. And apparently the Boston Celtics had given him permission to apply for this position because they don't want to wash their hands of this black man. So he didn't get the job, though, at the Brooklyn Nets. That other man got it. I can't remember his name. Come on. I can't remember his name. Come on. So Ime Udoka is out of that job. I don't know. Look, he's out for this current season of 2022 to 2023 of I was about to say basketball. It is basketball. Wait a minute. Yes, basketball. I swear to you, I don't know sports like that, but I'm not that dense when it comes to sports. I just been out of the loop. I've been out of the loop. Welcome to KSPN. Well, Odell Beckham Jr. That cutie patootie. Look, that cutie patootie. Hold on. Okay. I know people that know him too. The streets of New York have been talking. All right. So Odell Beckham Jr., he's suing Nike. How dare you? No, how dare him? No. So Odell is suing Nike and saying that they withheld millions of dollars in this contract dispute. All right? So the free agent wide receiver announced on Twitter Monday night that he is suing the apparel company Nike, claiming that it hasn't honored his endorsement deal. He says this: "Being a Nike athlete and brand icon was a dream I've had since being a young boy," he wrote in a statement. He says, "I wanted to be the next Michael Jordan, Bo Jackson, LeBron James, or Kobe Bryant in the Nike family." He says, "When Nike exercised its right of its first refusal to match the Adidas offer and not only kept me as a Nike athlete, but also made me one of their brand icons, my dream had been fulfilled. Unfortunately, Nike did not honor its commitments. Throughout our partnership, I have kept my promise and fulfilled my obligations to the brand. I am extremely disappointed that I've had to take these measures to ensure Nike fulfills their obligations and promises." Damn. So, according to Yahoo Sports, for those that you might be confused when you logged on, you're like, "Are we talking sports?" Yes. So Beckham's initial deal with Nike expired in 2017, and he nearly switched to Adidas. Nike, however, matched Adidas' deal to keep him, something he said he was happy about. Now, though, Beckham alleged in his lawsuit that Nike is willfully withholding millions of dollars and inventing excuses not to pay him. The Adidas deal he was offered, Beckham Jr. said, was worth up to $47 million. $47 million. Okay? Wow. So Brendan Dunn on Twitter posted the contract summary of Odell's deal with Nike. Okay? So his signing bonus was $5 million with Nike. Okay? Cash compensation per year, 2017 to 2018 season, $3.2 million. 2018, 2019, $3.2 million. Come on. And it goes on and on and on. It changes, though, in 2020 to 2021, where he got $3.5 million. The following season, he got $3.7 million. The 2022 to 2023 season, he was supposed to get $4 million. Okay? And according to the asterisk that's next to it, it says guaranteed extension of the term if the net sales meet the minimum royalty guarantee in years 4 and 5. So he's supposed to get in the 2023 to 2024 season another $4 million, and the following season after that, $4.25 million. Damn. And they also list the guaranteed royalties that he was supposed to be making, and it's supposedly in the millions. Okay, in 2018 to 2019, Odell Beckham is supposed to make $1.4 million in royalties. The next season, 1.7. The following season, 1.9 million. 2021 to 2022 season, 2 million. After that season, 2.1 million. The 2023 to 2024 season, 2.15 million. Damn. Damn. Look, so according to TMZ, Beckham said that he was due a payment of $2.6 million in March. Nike reportedly withheld more than $2 million of that payment over alleged glove and footwear violations during the season when he was when he was a part of the Los Angeles Rams, something Beckham has denied. Instead, Beckham said his custom gloves have never been an issue and that Nike failed to give him cleats that matched the Rams' colors. Damn. These contracts, man, this is how they get you. In total, Beckham said that he missed out on about $20 million. The way the deal was set up, he said, made it nearly impossible to trigger extensions and bonuses. He says in his statement, "Today I'm taking a stand not just for me, but to set a precedent for all athletes who have dedicated their life to the sport they love, especially those who don't have the means to stand up for themselves. We are held responsible for fulfilling our obligations under our contracts, but we also have to hold powerful companies like Nike accountable for honoring their commitments too. I look forward to resolving this issue and hope we can start a real conversation about protecting athletes and their rights. This happens too often in the sports industry, and it's time for change." And we have to remember, because I know Odell, he's in football. Shut up. Football. All it takes is one terrible injury and then you're done. Like, he needs this money. But I get what he's saying. Like, you know, it's the guys that are coming after him. Like, look, I don't know the stipulations. I haven't seen the contract situation. I only seen a contract summary. But part of me believes him. That's a lot of money. All right. Guys, if you're just joining us, this is our Tuesday Takeover. You did not turn to the wrong channel. This is not KSPN. Okay, it was for a second. We talked a little sports. Now let's get back into some reality TV. As you know, every single Tuesday Takeover, we talk about 90 Day Fiancé and all the iterations of 90 Day Fiancé. I am still enjoying 90 Day The Single Life. I'm just, Tanya, where is she? Where's my Tanya photo? Is this her? No, that's Debbie. Tanya, now she's a lesbian? Lock her up. I can't. But now she's not sure. She doesn't want to get a divorce. She's like, oh, it's paperwork. And girl, I'm not understanding. I do remember when Sinjin left her, she seemed very emotional about, the breakup, like she didn't want it to happen. But Tanya, you were working on my last good nerve. Lesbians that might be interested in her, don't. She's going to break your heart. She doesn't know what she wants. She still wants to be married to this man. She still doesn't. She literally tells us in this episode of 90 Days of Single Life, all she has to do is go to the courthouse and it would be done. So why not do it? I said this last week, and we didn't get any Debbie this week, though. We didn't get any Debbie this week. I'm a little disappointed by that. You know what was more disappointing, though? Veronica, I like Veronica as a person. However, Veronica, you having an issue with Tim about not being there for you, girl. You and Tim, I don't think that there's anything wrong with having a relationship with an ex, but it seems like your relationship with Tim is going to hold you both back from your relationships. Tim is in a relationship. You were trying to get into a relationship with this other guy, but this other guy, it didn't work out. But I don't know how long these people were dating, but according to our timeline on what we're seeing, you guys aren't talking for that long. So I don't understand why you're so emotionally invested that you got to go to this place to go crack some TVs and stuff. I just don't understand why you're that emotionally invested. Just saying. Exactly. Chastity says Debbie and Veronica are the only ones I'm rooting for, I think. Because the real person that we need to talk about. Well, okay, before we get into that, I don't know what she's doing. I don't know why she's doing it. But Tiffany is going to South Africa. I'm going to tell you guys this because I'm always honest with you. I'm excited that she's going to South Africa. just because that's the only thing that I love about these 90 Day Fiancé shows is that we get to see the world. We get to see the world. Should she be getting back with Ronald? Hell no. She should not be getting back with Ronald. Ronald wants his family back and he wants to see it. But here's the difficult situation that Tiffany is in. She had a baby with a man that cannot get into the United States. And she doesn't want to live in South Africa. And he hasn't seen his baby in over a year. But now he's talking about he wants to, make it work. That's a difficult situation. I don't think she should do it. I don't think you should ever do anything just because of children. However, I couldn't be mad at her if she decided to do it. But she has this other guy, the comedian, that she went on one date with him, but she feels like I have to have a conversation with. You went on one date. Do you guys agree with me? If you've gone on one date, you don't need to explain anything to anyone. You don't even need to tell them that you're going to South Africa to see your husband. You've been on one date. I appreciate the transparency, though. But one date. But Ronald and Tiffany, I just don't see it working. You guys have tried for years to make it work. You have children together. Work that out. Tiffany's son, I love him to death. He's not able to go on this trip. His little confessional moment. I'm just like, this kid. That's the best part of Tiffany's story is her children. But I just don't see it working out at all. But I did see a rumor that they did get back together. Okay, Tiffany. Look okay. Look all right. Look, we didn't get any Caesar this week, thankfully. Him in that hat. So we'll have to talk about, this is the person I really wanted to talk about. Natalie. So Natalie, as you know, traveled back to Washington State because first of all, Mike was very gracious because, as you know, the war in Ukraine, he helped her mom get out of Ukraine. He sent money and things like that so she could get out. We all love Natalie's mom. We don't love Natalie. We don't love Natalie. However, Natalie travels back to Washington State because she also needs to get her passport and she needs to get her birth certificate. Okay. But is she really trying to get back with Mike? Mike's mom's there, so I'm sure next week's episode should be interesting. But she's talking about getting back with Mike. This is another relationship that does not need to happen. But she's getting those old feelings back. She hasn't seen Mike in a long time. But one of the things that stood out to me, I could care less about them reuniting or her playing with that rat. I could care less about it. At one point during her confessional, she says, I am a legendary woman to Michael. A legendary woman? She really thinks so highly of herself, yet she's the one who has been married, 3 times, and it hasn't worked out? The common denominator here, Natalie, is you. Is you, Natalie? She says, I am a legendary woman. Legendary? Maybe not in a good way. Maybe she means legendary in a different way. Maybe she means legendary in a different way. Definitely not in a good way. I have to say, I'm still enjoying 90 Day The Single Life. It is available on Discovery Plus, but it's also available on TLC. So be sure to check it out so you can see the fools that we're talking about. All right. I don't think we got anyone else this week that I need to talk about. So we're going to move on. Let's move on. Let me just say thank you. Thank you guys so much for the super chats. Thank you to those of you that send in super chats, PayPals, Cash Apps, Venmos. We normally see those after the live, but I do want to say thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for the support. We appreciate it. Nia, thank you so much for the super chat. Nia says, I believe him. I knew a few athletes who, in regards to Odell Beckham, a few athletes who are under Nike. They are stingy with money and is quick to take away contracts. Nike is not the way to go. Wow. And that's why I'm not, look, I don't know the stipulations of Odell's contract, but if he feels like he has legal standing to sue them, do it. And maybe he will win. Look, maybe he will win. And I do believe him. Like this will set up a precedent for people that are coming behind him or are currently in the NFL or other sports. Julie, thank you so much for the super chat. Julie says, I'm tired of Tanya. She needs to go by. Yeah, at first I was like open to, you remember when I first started recapping 90 Days of Single Life, I was open to Tanya. And then I was like quickly over her. Very quickly. Now she's a lesbian? All right, girl. Julie, thank you so much for another super chat. She says, Tiffany's son is the smartest one on the cast. He really is. And the sweetest. The sweetest. Oh my goodness. I wonder if they're going to do a reunion for 90 Days of Single Life. They did before, right? I can't remember. I think, yeah, they did. Jamila, thank you so much for the super chat. Jamila says, an Indian destination wedding is a lot. That part too, it's also a destination wedding. But it was beautiful to watch, Family Karma. I can't believe we watched 2 episodes and both episodes were all of Vishal's wedding. It's like he had his own little wedding special. Jamila, thank you so much for another super chat. Jamila says Durban is another level. I can't wait to watch more episodes. I can't wait to watch more episodes. I feel like episode 1 really pulled me in. So we shall see. Julie, thank you so much for the super chat. Julie says, have to be a part of the replay crew at 1:30, but Veronica was crazy this week. I'm afraid Mike is going to take Natalie back, and Bilal in the hot seat was amazing. Tiffany needs to go to let Ronald go. Enjoy. Thank you, Julie. All right, guys. Guys, we have almost 1,100 people watching on YouTube alone. Let's get those likes up. Let's get to 500 likes. I will be dropping the call-in link for members first, so you guys will have an opportunity to call in and share your thoughts. This is our Tuesday Takeover, where we cover a variety of reality TV news, and pop culture news. If you're part of the replay crew, as always, I want to know where you're watching from, your thoughts on everything that we've talked about in the comment section. I forgot to ask you guys in the live chat, where's everyone watching from? Sorry, y'all. You know, we started off this live very somber. So don't forget to let me know where you guys are watching from in the live chat. All right. Okay. Let me take a sip. We're going to get into the Ashley Darby of the situation in a second. But before we do that, let's talk about 90 Day Fiancé Happily Ever After. So 90 Day Fiancé Happily Ever After. Look, I'm so glad that we didn't get Big Ed this week. And I'm going to admit to you guys, if you watched on TikTok with me last night, we watched this together. We fast forwarded through Andre and Liz's scenes. So 90 Day producers, if you're watching, we fast forwarded. We're not even talking about them anymore. I don't care. I don't think we missed anything. The family did not call immigration on Andre. I did. I'm joking. But if I thought about it, I should have. Because if anything to get them off of my screen. What's going on? Richmond, Virginia's in the house. Wolverhampton, England. I've never heard of that. What's going on? Illinois. Love it. Buffalo's in the house. Brooklyn's in the house. What's going on, Sue? Kansas, Missouri. There we go. Kansas City, Missouri. Jersey City. What's going on? Texas is in the house. Love it. Los Angeles. Brooklyn Star says, Amaret's wedding. I can't wait to see. He got married in a town center in Atlanta. Really? Is Amaret's husband from Georgia? I think so, right? So is that why? That's interesting. All right. Exactly. Deborah says we missed nothing with that couple. Yes. So we won't be talking about that couple. that's how we will refer to them lovingly. No. All right. Moving on up. Okay. Where do I want to start? You know what? Let me start with look. Let me start with Jenny and Sumit. So Jenny and Sumit. So finally, Jenny's daughter makes a visit to India, but before she makes that visit, she has to go to the doctor because she hurt herself. But I don't know if you guys noticed this. When she started hugging her daughter and she took off the brace, I was like, did the doctor do a miracle? Did your arm stop hurting? So I thought that was interesting. All right. But their issue for this season is that Jenny doesn't want Sumit working. Remember, Jenny is retired. She doesn't want to be alone at home. But Jenny, this is what you signed up for. This is where look. I believe in your love. I've been rooting for y'all. However, there are certain situations that are going to come up that will affect your relationship. He's 30 something years old. He's still trying to find out what he loves to do. And he wants to be able to do it. He wants to live. While you're ready to settle down and just stay at home and do nothing, he's ready. He wants to see the world. And this is where the issue comes in with a 30-year age gap. 30-year age gap. 30-year.
30-year age gap.
Damn. So Sumit is a liar. Just saying, he is a liar, and he's lied to all of us and his family and to Jenny. But I have to agree with him here. Like, he wants to be able to work. He wants to be able to go out and live his life. And she's like, no, I want you to stay home with me and do nothing and just cuddle with me and da-da-da-da. No. So now that the daughter is visiting along with her partner, these issues are going to come up again. These issues are going to be being played out. And of course, the daughter is going to be involved. But I have to say, when her daughter came and they all hugged and she held on to her daughter and she wouldn't let go, you know what I thought of? Because of the pandemic, so many families have been separated, especially if your family lives abroad. People have been separated for a year, 2 years, some 3 years. That's what I thought of. And I'm thinking of all the people reuniting and they're having these moments. So I felt for Jenny. She hasn't seen her daughter in probably like 2 years. So that was a beautiful moment. That's what stood out to me in that moment. Just saying. Okay. Let's move on because we have so much to cover. Bilal and Shaida. Damn it, I forgot to get a photo of Shaida's best friend. You know what I've been alluding to for the last couple of weeks about Shaida and her best friend. I don't like Bilal, but I also think that Shaida is immature and she's beating a dead. You decided to marry this man knowing that he didn't want to he wasn't ready to have children. And now you want him to change his mind completely about having children because your clock is a ticking? Your clock's been a ticking. You're 37 years old. So I'm not team Bilal. I'm not team Shaida. I'm not even team this friend. Because I feel like the friend is a little sinister. Did you guys notice the eye movements? And I told you, I feel like the friend, it's like they're both fighting for Shaida's affections. And Shaida's a beautiful woman. Don't get me wrong. She's a beautiful woman. But I'm getting... And I feel like the friend was coming off very strong to Bilal from the jump. I don't feel like... And I know some people would be like, oh, Bilal is toxic. He's a narcissist. And yeah, he's all of those things. But I also feel like this friend was coming at him very quickly, way too soon. But again, pay attention to her eyes. Like all of the things that she was doing with her face, I was just like, are you okay, girl? Look, can we talk? Like nobody's watching? Like over almost 1,200 people are watching? I think that, I don't know, look. I feel like there's this friendship might be a little bit more. I'm just saying. That's just the feeling that I get. That is just the feeling that I get. Thank you, Ada. Ada says, I'm new to this channel. And baby, I am a mother effing fan. Yes. Thank you. I love that. I just get that feeling. I don't know if I'm right, but here's the thing why they might not pursue their love. Religion, Caribbean culture. Just saying. All right, I already feel awkward. Let's move on. I'm so glad that we did not get to see this. No, oh, damn. that couple or this couple this week. All right. Okay, Jovi and Yara. I don't care about their fight. I don't care. Look, the only part about this that I enjoyed was being in Prague. All right? That's the only part about Jovi and Yara's storyline that I enjoyed. We were in Prague. Prague. That's the only part of the story I enjoyed. Yara wants to stay in Prague. She wants to get an apartment in Prague. She wants to be there for her friends that are coming from Ukraine because there's a war in Ukraine. Okay, I can appreciate that, Yara. However, it feels very pre-produced. It feels like you guys are just trying to have a moment. We get to meet Joey's friend. Now they're going to Germany. It's like, oh, can my friend come? And now that becomes an argument. I don't care. There's 3 couples here that I don't really care about. Andre and Liz, Ed and Liz, and Yara and Jovi. But the only reason why I would keep Yara and Jovi is because there's a real situation happening in our world, and Yara can give us that real life experience. You know what I mean? Like, that to me is real. But all these little side things that they're doing, these little battles that they're having, I'm like, y'all can have it. Y'all can have it. Foxy says, hold on. Foxy says, I can't stand that immature dude, Jovi. I think he's immature, but she knew what she was getting into. That's the thing. I think that's my hard time trying to wrap myself around this relationship. You knew who you were marrying. You knew who you were marrying. All right. Okay. Kimberly and Usman, or Angela and Mike. Let's do Angela and Michael. So there was a rumor that Michael was here in the States. And then I saw a picture that you guys were tagging me in of Michael. But that's not in the States. That is literally in Nigeria, if you pay attention to the signage behind him. That is in Nigeria. I don't believe that Michael is here in the States. Until you show me another photo, I don't believe that Michael is here in the States. But I also don't believe this story. What does Angela do for a living now? I think all she does now is like social media and this show. But I'm speaking for everyone. I think people are over Angela, especially after the season and the amount of time she spoke down to Michael and called him the B word and kept on calling him a scammer. You've been with this man for, 5 years? But now he's scamming you? And all of your requests from him seem very unreasonable. He can't have social media, but you can? He's talking about, I want to make my own money. That's what it is. It's about control for her. Because if he starts making his own money on Instagram, then he has no need for her anymore. What the hell was she wearing in this episode? What the hell was she wearing? Between the ponytail and the outfits? But you guys see how it goes. He calls her and she's done with him. She's flying back. She keeps saying she's flying back. And he's like, I want to talk to you. And then she's like, all right, they got to film, got to make money. And it goes from, what are you doing to me, Michael? What are you doing to me? What is he doing to you? What are you doing to us? Then she goes through his phone and calls a woman by the name of Angie. Is this your name, Angie? Doesn't he call you Angie? That's the first thing I thought. But he calls the woman, and she calls the woman, and she starts attacking the woman. The woman hangs up. She's like, click. I don't blame her. And then I don't remember how he quickly went from calling this woman and being upset about that whole situation to, okay, are you going to come sleep with me? What happened in between? You were just mad as hell. You're leaving the country, but you're waiting for you want that yammy before you leave. But their relationship is not over. We're going to see them. I can already picture the reunion. I'm already picturing the reunion. It's going to be Angela screaming and yelling at a television screen of Michael again. And that's not entertaining. We are done. We are done seeing you degrade this man on television. The optics of it alone is disgusting. But the reality is even worse. Ebony, thank you so much for becoming a Team Kempire member, guys. If you would like to become a member of the channel, head on over to teamkempire.com/join. And right, we also have a new tier coming to that as well. We will be doing like a members only live where we look at property, talk about people, and all that stuff. So stay tuned for that, but definitely become a member so you can be the first to know when we add that new tier. All right. All right. Hey, Robin. Robin says I fast forward through their scenes, so this is where I get the scoop. Girl, it was sort of like they went from being mad at each other, and then quickly moving on. And she's like, "Let me see your phone," and then you're mad at each other again, and then okay, you coming back to the hotel with me? And Michael's like, I have to show her that I have to stand up for myself. Michael, you did not prove anything because you stood up for yourself, but then you backed down. You stood up for yourself, and then you backed down. So you've already taught her how to treat you. As long as she's screaming and yelling and doing what she needs to do, you're always going to back down. And she's trying to control his life by not allowing him to work and make money on his own. Okay. All right. Kimberly and Usman. So Kimberly proposed to Soulja Boy right before he was supposed to meet his child bride. Look, okay, I don't know about child. She's 18. Beautiful, though. And his cousin, his first cousin. And she was like, I will not be the second bride. This because she knew what the mama said. The mama said she wants her to be the first bride and Kimberly to be the second. But Kimberly's stipulation is like, I am not doing that. I want to be the first bride. So after meeting with this woman, having this date with this woman, he's talking to this woman. He's like, "You're very pretty." He's like, but I need to get to know you, but I have this other woman. And she's like, "No, I must be the first bride." Okay. Hey, Central State. Central State says, Kempire, what do you think about Katina and Olajuwon? They're broken up. That's what I think. And I predicted it. She was like an abused woman. Every time we watched her, we saw what's her? I already forgot her name. Damn it. Hold on, let me go back up. Katina, there we go. We saw Katina be this beautiful woman become this shell of herself during Married at First Sight. I predicted it. That's done. And now it's official. All right. Sorry. Not sorry. It's the honest truth. All right. I might have to get back. No, it's too long to watch. I was about to say I might get back into Married at First Sight and just talk about it on one of these shows. But no, it's just too much. It's like 2 hours of. How was this season? A lot of you weren't even telling me the season was good. Just saying. Anyways, so Soulja Boy has that date and then goes back and, he says she was fine. She's beautiful, but, I don't know her. I don't have love for her the way I have love for you. Okay. So they finally meet with Soulja Boy's mom, who has not cracked a smile until this episode, okay? And they come with paperwork. And basically this paperwork is a prenup. So they have our girl Kimberly agree to this sort of prenup. And the prenup means that she agrees that first of all, there's stipulations about money in this agreement. There's also stipulations about having children and taking on a second wife. Come to find the preview for next week is that technically, well, not technically, it's the law. In regards to his green card, if he's coming to the United States, you can't have no other wives. Do you guys think that Kimberly and Usman are going to get married? Do you think? I don't want them to get married because we already know he does not love her. I'm sorry, Kimberly. Sidebar. Who knew his cousin, his future first wife, was a super fan too? She's like, I've seen your music videos. Oh God. Why? All right, let's move on. Let me just take a look. Guys, if you're just joining us, this is our Tuesday Takeover where we talk about a variety of reality TV news, and pop culture news. And sometimes the pop culture news includes sports. Who would have known? Who would have known? You guys want this to be KSPN, and here we are. And look, and here we are. Thank you, Lady D, for the super chat. Lady D says, I'm loving KSPN. Never a dull moment in the sports world. Keep it coming, Kempire. Don't encourage me. Don't encourage me. Did I miss? I think I missed another super chat. Hold on, y'all. Let me just make sure. If I missed your super chat, guys, I promise you it's not intentional. Sometimes the chat is going way too fast for me to keep up. But I think I got everything. If I didn't, I apologize. I apologize, y'all. I can only do so much. I can only do so much. Okay. So, sidebar. I'm not going to go delve too deep into these topics, but I did want to mention it just in case, because I know algorithms. Sometimes you guys don't see all the videos that I post. But I did 2 Real Housewives of Atlanta related stories this past weekend and past couple of days. One of those stories is that Candy and Todd Tucker are being sued by this woman and her daughter because there was another shooting in Atlanta, and the daughter and the mother suffered injuries while being at OLG, not the one that we saw on Candy and the Gang. So they're suing Candy and the shopping center security for not having the proper amount of security. And I know a lot of you say, "Oh, it's not Candy's fault." And look, it's maybe it's not in the court of law. We have to wait and see. But remember when we recapped Ladies Who List Atlanta, and we met that man who was buying this new beautiful $1 million house, and I forgot how it came up, but we found out that he was this guy that was in the news in Atlanta that had been shot at Kroger's, and he had won a settlement against Kroger's for not having the right amount of security. So I don't know if Candy will have to pay this, or the shopping center, or the security company, but it's not just, clear cut right now. All right? Mario, it's your birthday? Happy birthday, Mario. Shout out to all the Scorpios and everyone celebrating a birthday. So we had that Atlanta story, and then we had She by Sheree. Okay, look, I was just minding my own business on Twitter, and I saw that Sheree was looking for interns. Okay? Sheree posted on social media that she's looking for interns and assistants. And a lot of you were like, for what? Look, for what? Well, you guys were dragging her in the comment section saying, are they going to be paid? Why are you worried about interns? What is going on, Sheree? Or have those prices dropped for She by Sheree? So, if you missed those videos, be sure to check those out. I'm not going to go at length about them. I went at length in those videos. So I just wanted to mention it because it is Tuesday Takeover, where we talk about all the things. All right? But since we're talking about the Real Housewives of Atlanta, let's talk about the Real Housewives of Potomac. So as you know, we do a weekly recap with Layla Lynn and Grace Report. And every time that we do the recap, or when we talk about Real Housewives of Potomac, the conversation of colorism is constantly coming up, all right? And I have to say, originally when the conversation was coming up, my initial thought was like, I don't know if I think that's what's happening here. But as I'm watching this season, and I think a lot of people that were in the same headspace as me are starting to kind of like, yeah, the way that this is looking is not looking good for you ladies. Well, Ashley Darby took to social media yesterday to deny being a colorist. Take a look.
That I have to say anything about this and that I have to address this, but it seems to have just gotten like way out of control. First and foremost, I am not a colorist. I know everyone wants to deem me that. They want to make all these accusations about me because of my own skin tone, but I don't claim that because that's not me. I feel like people forget that I have had issues or disagreements with every single woman on the show for whatever reason, for whatever thing that we disagreed upon at some point in time, irrespective of the hue of her skin. So I always start at 100 with people until you give me a reason to take it down, all right? That is all that has transpired. And I still care about the women on this show. And I hope that everyone, including them, knows that nothing that I will ever feel about you is because of your color of your skin.
Well, a lot of you in the comment section were saying that you don't necessarily believe that Ashley has been colorist towards Wendy, Dr. Wendy Asefo, and Candace Dillard Bassett on the show. It's more so the Green Eyed Bandits. However, some of you also say, no, there have been things like the adjectives that she's decided to use for people like Candace and Wendy that she doesn't use for people like regular Robin and her aggressive behavior. And like I said to you before, especially in this last episode and what we're going to see with Mia and Dr. Wendy Asefo next week, here's the thing. And we say this all the time when we talk about other things, and that's why it's important to associate different ideas with these particular ideas. When someone tells you this is the way that it's making them feel, you should pay attention. If it's about colorism, if it's about racism, it's as if a white person says racism doesn't exist anymore. That's not what's happening. If that's their experience, if that's how they are feeling, you should be conscious of it. And I feel the fact that Dr. Wendy Asefo and Candace have pointed this out to the ladies before, they did this at the reunion. You might have some blind spots, Robin, Giselle, Ashley. You might have some blind spots, Chris. But if you're intentionally not trying to see their side, or if you're trying to not understand where they might be coming from or their experience, then you are being ignorant. Then you are being problematic. And I think that is where we are when it comes to all of this. And I get people, because like I said to you before, originally when these conversations were coming up the last couple of seasons, it's like, well, I don't know if it's that. Even Monique during the last reunion said, she's like, I don't think it's that. But the more, if people have pointed it out to you, now it's your job to be like, okay, well, let me just be a little bit more cognizant of what I'm saying and what I'm doing. Maybe I did not realize that's what I was doing or how I was coming across. So apparently, Ashley has been feeling the heat, and a lot of you probably been in her comments accusing her of this. So now she is breaking her silence on it and saying that she is not. But of course, as you know, here on our platform, we allow people to have a difference of opinion, because I know people feel like, no, don't ruin this show by bringing this up. Don't ruin this show by making something out of nothing. And then some of you are like, no, you can clearly see the colorism that's happening on this show. One thing I also have to remind people, and this is an education that I've gotten when the whole Basketball Wives situation happened, and we were talking about colorism, there was an education that myself as a Black person had to learn as well. And we also have to be reminded that colorism is rooted in racism. It's rooted in racism. It's rooted in a place where they want us to be separated. And I can already see that it's separating us. Black people, we do not need to separate. We need to be unified, because there's so many other things that we're battling in real life. Racism, homophobia, economic inequality. That if we're not unified, those things are not going to change. So that's the important part of the colorism conversation that I think we need to be reminded of, is that this whole idea of colorism was created to separate us. And I can already see that it's doing that. So I wanted to say that. What else did I want to say, though? Okay, I covered that. I'm not talking about Jen Shah screaming in the street. For what reason? Jen Shah is always screaming in the street. And always screaming, period. Oh, ratings. Okay. Let me save this. Guys, I am going to get to your super chat. Just give me a second. Let me just save this so I can get to the ratings. Shout out to our friends over at TV Deets. I want to share, every single week when we do Tuesday Takeover, we talk about Potomac's ratings. We talk about Love and Marriage Huntsville's ratings. We also talk about Family Karma now that season has started. All right, so let me go here. Okay. All right. So, Family Karma's ratings, and this is not bad. This is not bad for them. 377,000 viewers, live viewers, okay? So shout out to Family Karma, consistent. And this is all their wedding. I love Family Karma. You will never get me talking a bad word about Family Karma. RHOP's ratings, this is I thought they were making a steady climb. And it's not lower than last week, but at one point they were almost at 1 million viewers. I don't know if it's because of what's happening when we talk about colorism or we talk about the mean girl behavior that's happening on the show. I'm wondering if that's turning people off. But the ratings have dropped again. Well, it's a little bit higher than last week, I believe. However, 760,000 viewers? It's not terrible. It's not terrible. I mean, especially when you look at Watch What Happens Live's ratings. Just look, 241,000 viewers. It's okay. It's okay, Andy. It's okay. It's okay. It's all right. And, I mean, it's not really, but you know. Look, it's not really, but you know. All right. Love and Marriage Huntsville, as you know, it's been such a emotional roller coaster these last couple of episodes. Their ratings actually went up this week to 474,000 viewers. I'm still surprised I'm not surprised completely at the ratings, to be honest with you, because a lot of you have said that you've sort of checked out of Love and Marriage Huntsville because everything's just the same thing. But at their height, they were getting over 1 million viewers on Saturday night. So this is a major decline in viewers. A major decline in viewers. So yeah. Anything else let me drop the call-in link for Royal Court members first. Hold on, y'all. And let me go there. And guys, if you haven't already, be sure to like the video. It's an easy and free way of supporting not just my channel, but other channels as well that report on similar topics. And let's get to how many people we got in the building? We have almost 1,100 people in the building on YouTube alone. Let's get to 550 likes, and I'll drop the call-in link for you guys to call in as well. And those of you that are Royal Court members, let me just drop this link before I forget, because you know I get sidetracked. And shout out to everyone watching on Facebook. I see you guys. Hey, Vicky. Hey, Tracy. Hey, Felicia. Hey, Vicky. Hold on. Okay, Royal Court members. Let me just drop this here. And then I'm going to take a little bit of a musical break so I can refill my water because I'm a little parched. A little parched. Royal Court members, I've dropped the call-in link. Team Kempire members, I'm going to drop the link for you as well. Okay, in just a second. There we go. And shout out to my mods, guys. Don't forget to say hello to the mods. They're here all the time helping us move things along. You know, I'm doing a lot of things here, but they're helping me manage what's happening in the live chat. So be sure to help them and say hello and, you know, be friendly. Be friendly. Hold on. I missed the super chat. Hold on. Okay. And thank you guys so much for the super chats as well. And liking and viewing and sharing helps the channel as well. We're almost at 200,000 subscribers. So if you're not subscribed, subscribe to the channel. It is a subscribers only live chat. All right, I'm gonna take a quick little bit of break, and then we're going to get into some callers because I do want to hear what you guys have to say on anything that you want to talk about, but it has to be short and shady, okay? And again, of course, no profanity and no derogatory statements. All right, hold on. Let me just save this. Irene says, I truly believe this colorism was started to divide and separate people. Kempire, you're right. We have to worry about other things in life. And I think we can have the conversation of colorism, but also remember what it's rooted in and not allow it to separate us. But I see that it is. All right. And I will get to the super chats in just a second, guys. Let me take a quick little bit of a break. If you are a Team Kempire member, I'm dropping the call-in link for you there. All right, as well. And because we just hit our goal, I'm going to drop the call-in link in the live chat as well. Okay. And we're going to take a quick little bit of a musical break, and I'll be right back. Hold on, what do I want to play? I want to play something different that I haven't played in a while. Hold on.
tongue-tied.
Welcome back, guys, to the Kempire Daily YouTube channel, your number one source for pop culture news and music, entertainment, reality TV, and so much more. If you haven't already, be sure to like us on Facebook, The Kempire on Facebook, Kempire Radio Network on Facebook, and Kempire Daily on Facebook. And don't forget to subscribe to the podcast, Kempire Radio, as well. A new episode came out over the weekend. And don't forget to subscribe to the Kempire Radio YouTube channel, where you will see a visual version of our podcast. And don't forget to rate and review the podcast on Apple Podcasts and Spotify, because it does matter. And rate it a 5. Just saying. Come on. All right. Let me say thank you. We got a couple of super chats. The Mental Fit Chick, I feel like I haven't seen you in forever. Thank you so much for the super chat. She says, thank you for never backpedaling and serving us unbiased opinions. Thank you so much, Mental Fit Chick. And I saw you said something else. Hold on, let me just bring that up. She says the mods are the best. I really do have some of the best mods in the world. And shout out to our mods that are here for our live chats in the comment section to help make sure that everyone can have an opinion, as long as you're sharing it in a respectful way. Okay? All right. Lesego, thank you so much for the super chat. Nice seeing you here as well. Lesego says, Kempire, very good job on your Real Housewives of Durban recap. Thank you. Thank you. I mean, I'll do more in depth as we get more episodes, but these first 3 episodes, I have to say they're very grown. I appreciate that. It wasn't very catty on how they were handling the whole, okay, for lack of a better word, side baby situation. I'm just saying. And she wants to, Yolanda wants to introduce her children to, but she knew about this daughter for a long time. So why did you wait until, I mean, that's a conversation to be had. Why did you wait so long? Asking for the friend is all of us. Look, because the kids, I mean, they're not grown, but they're not toddlers. And My question too, and you guys probably that have watched The Real Housewives of Durban probably know this better than me. She says that they were on a break when he fathered this child and had a relationship with Nanku. But had he not seen his daughter since then? Knowing that you had a child? Okay, just asking. I'm just asking the questions, y'all. I'm just asking the questions. Crystal, thank you so much for the super chat. Crystal says, have you discussed selling Tampa yet? Also, Ladies Who List Atlanta is not returning as well. Damn. I did not hear about that. Yes, guys, over the weekend, I did report that Selling Tampa was not returning. And one of the cast members, Joanna Colbert, came out and said that it was because of racism. And she talked about all the different things that she's dealt with being a part of the show. So, Crystal, I didn't hear about Ladies Who List Atlanta. And the Ladies Who List Atlanta producer, the executive producer, was a Jamaican woman. Well, can we get a Ladies Who List New York or something? Come on. I think it's such a great idea. Own, if you're watching, you're missing out on a really great opportunity. Real estate reality shows are it. I feel like you guys just focused on the wrong things for Ladies Who List Atlanta. And I have to say, our recaps, they did some numbers. So that always tells me that there's an interest, not just in me, but in the show and in the idea of the show. Oprah, remember me? Can we get a Ladies Who List Atlanta or something? New York? All right. Thank you, Crystal. I did not hear about Ladies Who List Atlanta, but it makes sense because they did announce the shows that were coming back, and I didn't see that. Hold on. Nicole, thank you so much for the super chat. Nicole says, so if we have to acknowledge how Chris made Fizzy uncomfortable, we must do the same for the other girls with their feelings of color. Exactly my point, Nicole. Exactly. And to me, that stems into everything else. When we talk about the Me Too movement, when we talk about homophobia, we can't just shut people down because we don't like what they're saying. So that's the aha moment that I had this season so far with The Real Housewives of Potomac. And it reminds me of the Dr. King quote, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. quote, and injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere, which I always say to my Black community, then the homophobia within the Black community needs to end too. Because the injustice that when we talk about racism stems into homophobia too. Just saying. Nicole, thank you so much for that. And thank you for the super chat. Nia, thank you so much for another super chat. She says, RHOP is becoming heavy to watch, just like Beverly Hills, which I said yesterday. Not as bad, but getting there. We don't need to attack people's marriages. We want something light and fun. Thank you, Nia. Lacey, thank you so much for the super chat. Lacey says, been going through some rough times at my job for months. Your videos help me push through, and now I found a better job. Thanks for being a bright light. Lacey, oh my gosh. I can't tell you. Okay, I'm gonna be mushy. Look, I'm gonna be mushy. Okay, I have feelings. Okay. I get messages like this all the time. Sometimes you guys comment it in the comment section or here in the live chat. This means the world to me when you guys say this, that I get you through the day, that I've gotten you through some tough moments. First of all, Lacey, congrats on your new job. I hope you love it, and I hope that you are truly amazing and successful. Oh, thank you so much for that. I appreciate that. Wow. All right. Let's get to some callers. Let me get to some callers. Let me put up the callers thing. Again, callers short and shady because I do have a podcast that I need to record that's coming up. Stay tuned. I have a special guest coming through. Okay? Hold on, y'all. Let me turn off my notifications. And then I gotta get out of here. Look, because then I gotta get out of here. It's raining here in New York, Lord. All right. Let me bring up first Phoenix. Hold on. You guys have been waiting patiently. What's going on, Phoenix?
Hello. I'm so happy to not have to talk about Beverly Hills right now.
Me too.
So happy to talk about Potomac. So I'm a light-skinned Black woman, and I'm biracial. And I feel that Ashley, as a light-skinned biracial woman, I don't feel like it's appropriate for her to be like, why do I even have to bring this up? Like, I felt that when in the last reunion, when they brought up colorism, she was just like baffled. And I think that it's annoying when it comes to colorism or racism or homophobia or transphobia for people to just act like a deer in headlights, as if we don't live in a society that is inherently colorist, as if we don't live in a society that is inherently racist. And I think like playing dumb as a light-skinned biracial Black woman, especially because I'm one myself, I don't like it. And that's my issue with Ash. She plays dumb really often. And, you know, we've seen she can be a little, you know, not the sharpest. But I just think at the end of the day, like for her to get on and be like, why do I even have to bring this up? You're going to have to get used to having these conversations. You have a platform. If people feel offended by you, you need to say sorry. It doesn't matter at the end of the day what your intent is. Like she can clarify my is never to be
you got
colorist, but you can't sit here and make jokes about the only two dark-skinned women on the cast having to share a bed, and you're running around and trying to hide that. You know, it's just like, just be aware. And, you know, when you are called out, I feel like take it sometimes.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that she could learn from that. Because you can't tell dark-skinned Black women who have a totally different lived experience than you how to feel. Yeah. And I think that was gross. So I just want to step in and say. But other than that, everybody like the video, subscribe.
Thank you, Phoenix. Thank you, Phoenix. And thank you for sharing that. All right. I have some of the best callers. All right, Katamin, I'm going to bring you up next. Hold on. Katamin, I'm always so confused by the photo you have. Who is that?
It's BTS.
Okay. I figured, but I was just like, I wasn't sure. It's okay.
No, it's just, I don't like showing my face.
No, it's okay. They can't see you anyway, even if you do.
Okay, cool. I'm just, my privacy. Anyways, so, okay. I want to agree to the other caller. I'm a light-skinned woman. I'm not biracial. But with this sort of topic, you have to be very delicate with it. You have to show that you're somewhat of an ally. And I think the reason why people are turned off, but you know, if you go by the ratings, is I think people are fed up. I think people are fed up because Giselle, Robin haven't really had a storyline since ever. And since they keep getting since Bravo won't acknowledge their actions, it's turning people off. And so when you have that in the mix, and then when not only that, but then you have Giselle going after people's husbands. And then after that, it's like she says these kind of coloristic things. It's like, dude, when are we going to acknowledge it? We're tired. And even I have been turned off. Like, I was like, you know what, after this episode, I am not watching because, you know, it's frustrating. We're going around in circles. And it's like, dude, this big elephant in the room is literally clouding the show. And I think people are still mad about the situation with Monique because people blame Giselle for it. And then on top of that, it's just like a mixture of actions that are just kind of like are not addressed. And whenever they're addressed, it's brushed over. Like the same thing with Real House of Beverly Hills. It was brushed over. It's like the big elephant in the room and no one's acknowledging it. And I think people are just kind of like, when is it going to be addressed? Yeah. Or when are we going to have a rational conversation for it? Yeah. And when I'm going to go off soon, but with Ashley doing that video, I was like, Ashley, the best thing you could have done was, you know, not say anything, wait a while and just apologize because it's their experiences and you can't, it just seems disingenuous. And I'm also just kind of like, dude, you just need to apologize because if you may have not seen it, but other people feel that way and you need to show some type of acknowledgement, solidarity, and realize, you know what, just because you're a Black woman, you have some sort of privilege. You need to acknowledge that because Black people, we do have some sort of privilege, just like all races, depending on where they live, depending on what they look like, they have some sort of privilege. We're not just this big monolith. So I think on some regard, you know, I mean, it's kind of like, you know what, I'm tired of the to be continues. I'm tired of this whole up in the air. Even I'm turned off, and it's getting to the point where it's kind of like Real House of Beverly Hills, and I'm like, no, I'm drained. I'm tired. That's it. I'm glad, everything's working out for you, and thank you for listening.
Thank you so much, Kahneman. Take care.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's get to some more callers. Zoe, I'm gonna bring you up next. Hold on one second. I'm trying to manage everything back here. Okay, there we go. Zoe, are you there? What's going on?
Hi, Kempire. How you doing?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm good. I'll keep it short and straight to the point. I'm so happy that you're finally watching The Real House of Durban. Like, yay! I've been waiting for this, and I've been tweeting at you like a crazy person.
I mean, I had to wait for them to give it to us.
Exactly. And I understood why. I absolutely understood why. Yeah, we're there now. So let's go. One thing I want to say is Sorisha, because I've been following your guys' channel for like almost a year now. And then we did Young, Famous, and African. And I remember how we went in on Kayumba for skin bleaching and how people were saying it's anti-black. And I'm like, are you guys going to have the same energy for Sorisha, or you're going to come down because she's Indian? And everybody automatically
here's the thing though, Zoe. I try not to assume, but it's in the back of my mind when I'm looking at all of them I'm like, is that because it's not something that I see every day here, at least not in New York. I mean, I've seen it in New York, but so is that what I'm seeing with Sarisha?
Yes.
Oh.
That's what you're saying with Sarisha. She's skin bleach. Google it. Go see the before and after pictures. Yeah. And then I was watching, and then you were like, so let's move on from her. I don't want to delve for too long. Next, on to the next girl. You mentioned something about why Nonku took so long to address it. The answer you get in season 2. Keep on watching. Those questions you're asking, you're not the only one. They were asked and they were addressed in the second season. Like, girl,
damn,
why?
I gotta wait till season 2?
Yes.
Oh my god.
You gotta wait till you get there. And a last thing, I don't have an issue with talking about colorism with Potomac. I really don't. I don't fear having those hardcore dark conversation, because it's a real life, is what we go through, and everybody deals with it. And especially in my country, South Africa, it's bad. Like, to the point where going to a club, they won't let you in because they say you're too dark.
Wow.
Exactly. And people from outside of Africa might just assume that all Africans are just dark skinned. No, we come in different shades, skin and color and hair texture and eye color. It's a mixture of everything here. So yes, some girls do bleach for better opportunities in life, do bleach to get better jobs in life. And now you might have to also bleach to get into a club because people just don't like dark-skinned people. So watching Potomac, yeah, you do relate and you do feel bad. And it is annoying that even your guilty pleasure, you cannot get away from that. I can't even just watch reality TV to have fun. I had to be reminded of the daily things that you go through as a dark-skinned person. Yes, there are girls who are naturally dark-skinned in Africa. Yes, there are plenty of them, and there are plenty who have to bleach to get that type of better treatment. We have all those problems everywhere you go, and it doesn't have to do with black. Some people think bleaching is just for black people being into black. So Risha is a dark Indian lady who was not accepted in her community for being a dark-skinned Indian and felt the need, like she had to bleach. Like, we all are aware of that. We see it. And in my school, like my high school, Indians in my school started bleaching the second they hit teenage years, because they understand that being dark-skinned as an Indian is related with poverty. So you don't want that. If you want to be treated better and be in a better class, you start bleaching. So my classmates started bleaching in high school. So it's not like a big thing for us, but I know when other people from other countries say it, they lose their mind. But like you said, it's rooted in racism. What does Africa know? We've been colonized since forever. So the whole light skin has been ingrained and pushed on us forever. So you have to deal with that. So it sucks that you can't even like turn off your TV and watch a different show from another country without being triggered about how you are not the base because you are not closest to white. So that's one. So done with the deep stuff.
Zoe, we're going to talk more about that. We're also going to talk more about the tribalism, because I saw that you guys were talking about that as well. That I saw there was a little bit of mention of that in, I think it was episode 1. I think it was episode they mentioned.
Yeah, it's coming. And not to defend Ashley Kempire, I'm not defending Ashley. As a South African from a tribe, I belong in a Zulu tribe, which is the majority. You know, I think when people hear Zulu, they hear Shaka Zulu, the greatest warrior. So we are the majority in our country. I'm not trying to defend Ashley, but when I watch Real Housewives of Durban, I have to actually think about myself too. I'm like, I am a majority in my country. When I walk into the room, I don't have to change my lingo. I don't have to change my language. I speak my language. Everyone around me had to speak mine, because I'm the majority. So you kind of you don't think about those things when you do certain things until people say it or you watch it. It's like, oh, this is bad.
And we don't think about it here in America, because we never, look, there's a whole new concept that we never even talked about.
Exactly. So pay attention to that when you are watching the Real Housewives of Durban, and they are sitting with Sorisha and Annie, who do not speak Zulu. Okay. Also, KG Homoto. We call her KG for short. So if you can't say Homoto, just say KG. You got it.
Yeah.
And if you can't say Tono, just say Lassie or LC. We know who you're talking about. Okay. So when they are sitting in a group together and the girls start speaking Zulu, look at the cameras and look how the girls are reacting, because they are speaking a different language and they don't understand what is going on and what's happening. And the cameras are really good at highlighting that and showing that. So as I'm watching, I'm like, is this what I do? Because I walk into the room and I don't check if you are from Nigeria, from Ghana, from America, from Australia, you're Chinese. I walk in and I speak Zulu and I'm like, what's good? And I'm like, ooh, is this how I'm making people feel?
That's deep. Like, and look at the shady editors are actually capturing these moments. Well, Zoe, we appreciate you calling. Look, we have more episodes to watch and talk about when it comes to Real Housewives of Durban.
Of course,
so stay tuned.
Lovey, I'll be watching, and I hope you guys love it. Put the subtitles, because this girls are not considering the American audience. Like, it's our show. We speak our language. Catch up. If you don't, oh well, that's just how it is in day life here. We just talk our own language. Catch up if you don't. Where you from?
Zoe, thank you so much for calling in.
All the best, my Lovey.
Take care. Bye. I have the captions on regardless, though. Every show that I watch, I have the captions on. But no, definitely with shows like this, and when we were talking about Dubai Blink, very much so. All right, let me bring up Kiki next. Guys, we have to be quick because I do have a podcast that I need to record. But I had to hear everything that Zoe had to say in regards to this, because there are areas. Look, we're talking about colorism, and colorism for some people in America is a new concept. Now we're talking about tribalism in Africa. Woo, the more you know. This is why I always say it's important to travel too. All right, Kiki, I'm gonna bring you up for a short and shady comment. What's going on, Kiki?
Hey, Kempire. So, you know, I'm Jamaican and everything already. So the colorism thing is something it's very real. For example, when I used to go to high school, I remember Indians, lighter skinned girls were treated better than me because I'm a darker skinned woman. With my me being a darker skinned woman, me and my fellow darker skinned friends, I realized that I benefited a little bit more than them. Reason being because they had 4C here and I have 3C, so it's easy to lay down, simple stuff. So I could wear my hair out and there was no issue. Whereas my friends, they couldn't, because they would say that it's not appropriate for you to wear your 4C hair out. It looks too ghetto. It's not appropriate with your uniform. So that's one thing. I feel also with what the previous caller said with clubs and so on, I don't know if you guys are aware that in the Caribbean, the bleaching is very active. People sing about it a lot. They feel like when you bleach, you're more prettier. I could be the prettiest prettiest woman in the world, but because I'm dark skinned and I'm standing beside a lighter skinned woman, they're going to refer to her as more beautiful. So with this whole colorism thing in Potomac, I feel like they should talk about it more. I hate that it's being brushed under the rug. And secondly, I feel like we should have a host that will be able to speak about these things.
Yeah.
A white man cannot speak about it. A white woman cannot speak about it. Not even a lighter skinned person can really speak about it. We have to hear it from the side that is experiencing it, which is a darker skinned woman, brown skinned woman, people who have been experiencing it time after time. And I was watching the interview. I don't know if you saw it with Carlos King and Wendy.
No, I
When
haven't seen it
they
yet.
asked her about the fight, if the same thing happened. Remember when Giselle was saying, "Oh, you're bringing down the show as black women. We should stick together." And I am looking at it now, and it looks like no one is gonna say anything about it. And it's really disgusting. And that also plays into colorism, because we see that she attacked a darker skinned woman and no one said anything. And people might say, but wait, she defended Candice. No, she had a vendetta against Monique. That's why she defended Candice. If it was Robin or Ashley who did the same thing to Candice, she wouldn't have defended Candice at all. We saw last year at the reunion when she said, well, if Mia did anything to you, I would have just sat there and didn't do anything. We saw it time after time, and it's really disgusting. And Ashley shouldn't come out and speak about it. Me personally, I do not feel like Ashley is a colorist, but for her to come out and speak about it, to act like there isn't colorism in that group, is really sad. Because time after time, I'm watching the show. I love Potomac. It's probably my favorite franchise. But it's heartbreaking as a darker skinned woman to watch it, and then you're seeing how it's like it's a mean girl thing. And it's more than a mean girl thing, because you can see the division. You can see the lighter skinned girls being a clique. And Mia, there's no real reason for Mia to be that upset with Wendy. Like, okay, yes, Wendy did a lot of stuff last year, but okay, it's a new season now.
Okay.
What? It's like she's being, because without the confessional, have you seen them disagree with each other?
No, I think everyone was shocked by what transpired in this last episode and what's about to happen in the next episode. Sort of like, yes, we know you guys have beef, but why all of a sudden it's on this level?
Exactly, because I remember when they were leaving the winery, they were laughing. I was like, "Oh, bye, Mia." And she was like, "Bye, Wendy." It was all hunky dory. You know, everybody is like.
All right,
know?
Kiki, I hate to cut you
Wait,
off, but
the last thing.
no,
the
I
last
gotta
thing
go,
is-
Kiki. I'm sorry, you already took up a lot of time, and I really gotta go. But I
yeah.
appreciate you calling in.
Yeah.
All right. I want to tell you guys, and this is why I can't take all callers, because I want to hear everything you guys have to say, but I'm also limited on time. So, callers that are waiting backstage, I'm gonna, if you can't be brief, then just hang up now. Okay. So I'm going to take Judgy Justice next for a quick and short and shady comment, so we can go. Go ahead, Judgy Justice. You're muted, Judgy Justice.
Hi, can you hear me?
You sound far away.
Hey, can you hear me now?
A little bit. Go ahead.
All right. Sorry, I had to run away from my desk. So real quick, I just think that people don't realize where the colorism and the favoritism comes like that stems past slavery, but it also comes back to that colonism era where these white men came over and said that because you are of a darker skin tone, you are less than. And when we have people like Ashley siding with people using demeaning names and dehumanizing them, calling them aggressive, calling them ferocious. Those are things I talk about when I'm talking about a Rottweiler, a pit bull. I don't say that about other people. And when she stands there and she does nothing, she's standing up for colorism. She's standing for this industry that keeps that going. And I wish that she didn't come out here and say that, but I'm happy she did, because now we see each other, Ashley. And you really don't care about these girls like that, because you would actually, if you felt that badly that you're hurting these women, you would apologize for even that inclination of it. And I really hope that Wendy and Candice can get past whatever it is their issue is, where they keep finding this distance between them. Because honestly, y'all need to band together, because y'all need to take these witches down. You need to take them down next season. But thank you so much for having me.
All right, Judgy Justice, thank you so much for calling in. All right, Daniel, I'm bringing you up for a quick, short, and shady comment. Short and shady.
Real quick, I just want to say that to your point earlier, we have to pay attention to what we're calling colorism. Everything isn't colorism, i.e., the whole bedroom thing. Last season, they did the same thing. They put Robin and Giselle up in the attic. And I look at it as like
Uh-oh.
they weren't feeling each other. And that's what it was. So sometimes we have to just take a step back and understand that sometimes it ain't about colorism. You're just not feeling that person. And that's what it could be. It's not always about skin tone and me against you. It's just that we're not rocking with each other. So I'm going to pick with you by putting you in a small room, the same way you put me in the attic last season. That's it.
Okay. Thank you so much for calling in, Danielle. Miss Esquire is going to be the final caller, and then I got to get out of here. Hold on. There we go. Hey, Miss Esquire, what's going on?
Hey, Kempire, I'm going to be short because I know you got to go eat. Here's the thing. You know, we need to
I got to go work, not eat.
Child, you got to go work. Okay, child, go make your ducats. I ain't going to get in your way.
That's okay.
But what I will say is this. Okay, we really do need to say that there's a difference between racism and colorism. Like, colorism is internalized prejudice. It does not have the same power that racism does. But just like racism, you can have it and not know it. And I think what I wish is Ashley would take a page out of Monique's book. You remember when Monique had the fight with Candace and she didn't immediately apologize because she did not feel the remorse. Mm-hmm. She needed to go through a process. She needed to really understand what had happened with her and with Candace. I would have much more appreciated Ashley if she had said, you know what, I don't think I'm fully aware of how my internalized prejudice, my internalized anti-Blackness could be coming out. It's certainly not my intention for it to happen. I'm going to spend some time looking at this. I'm going to spend some time with some people who know about this. And then I'll come back to y'all with an apology that is actually sincere. And when I can say what it is I'm apologizing for. I don't want an apology from somebody for the sake of an apology. I want you to apologize for what you specifically did. And I want to see change behavior. Ashley ain't ready for none of that, baby. So I don't really want your apology now. I didn't need what you gave us, which was nothing. But I think that's the thing, is that you really have to understand, like, the interpersonal does matter. Like, it matters that I experience your internalized prejudice. But what it does is you're on this show. So it's not just about what's happening to us interpersonally. It's about how that anti-Blackness, that internalized prejudice is actually then reinforcing systemic racism, the bias that exists in systems that are actually able to incarcerate Black women at higher rates, to kill Black women in the healthcare system at higher rates, to put our little girls on a pipeline to prison in the educational system. So it's like, honestly, I don't care about what happens interpersonally between these women. That's their business. But when you're on a platform that millions of people see and you're reinforcing stereotypes that could harm me and my sisters, it is a problem. And you need to do some work around it. So that's it, honey. You go get some more work done. I'll talk to you later.
Thank you so much. Take care, Miss Esquire.
Bye.
That was a perfect way to end this conversation. But of course, this conversation is going to continue. We still have more of the Real Housewives of Potomac to recap. Let me just say thank you. We had a couple of super chats that I wanted to thank. Sharon, Sharon, thank you so much for the super chat. Sharon says, these shows are competing against college football on Saturday and NFL on Sunday night. Sharon's our sports nista. Okay, so is that what the reason why the numbers are low? I didn't know the sports fans were watching Housewives. But okay. But Sharon does. Sharon watches both. So very possible. Very, very possible. Thank you for the super chat. Ms. MM, thank you so much for the super chat. She says, Ashley doesn't have anything to apologize for. Candace is extremely aggressive, so it's not fair for them to bully Ashley like this. Okay. And I know Ms. shares a lot of other people's opinions as well. Guys, don't forget, here on the channel, everyone's opinion matters. However, you got to be respectful with how you share that opinion. All right. Nia, thank you so much for another super chat. And Mia says, another point, seeing Mia literally hit Wendy with a bag in the preview is a lot. And from her interview with Carlos, they didn't hold her responsible. That had so much to say about Monique, but not, they had so much to say about Monique, but not Mia. And it's so funny because this was brought up when Mia posted that video of her friend Jacqueline, throwing something at her then husband or ex-husband. I don't know. And that's when we found out about the whole bag situation. So it's interesting that she's tagging Bravo trying to get Jacqueline removed from the platform, and you're doing something the same. Actually, if not worse. All right. Thank you, Nia, for the super chat. Thank you guys so much for the super chats. Thank you to everyone that called in. Shout out to our Team Kempire and Royal Court members. We appreciate you. And more than ever, thank you to our moderators for moderating these sometimes difficult conversations, but also sometimes fun conversations that we have on Tuesday Takeover, where we cover a variety of reality TV news, and pop culture news. Our next live will be on Thursday for our Thirsty Thursday, where we will be talking about buying Beverly Hills. We'll be talking about the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. We'll be talking about we'll be talking about Below Deck Adventure. There we go. We'll be doing that on Thursday, same time, 12:30 p.m. Eastern, 9:30 a.m. PST. Thank you all for being here. Everyone have a great rest of your afternoon, and I will see you in the next story. Be sure to check out the story that I posted earlier today about Wendy Williams and her son, Kevin Jr. I'll talk to you guys later. Let's get out of here with some music, and I will see you guys later.
Like a G, sipping Hennessy, president suite, looking like a young Barack Obama. Skipping to the beat, giving hella heat. I'ma need a seat just to count up all these dots and commas. I think it's evident I'm the better man, I'm the jam. I'ma have you crushing like a four-wheel monster. Who you know who looking like this for real? Who you know who looking like this? Baby, baby, won't you listen to me? I got that flavor. I know you're dying to feed. I ain't no dancer, just got some hip in my feet. Now throw your hands up. Ooh, if you bring the lighter, I got the fuse. You make a fire, I'll add the fuel. Follow my lead, just watch your shoes. Gotta turn the heat up to get this cool. Weight up on my shoulders, all this jewelry on me. I wear my shades inside cause I go blind just looking down. Walking like the man, sipping Chardonnay on the balcony, looking like a young Elvis Presley. I've been overseas, I've been underneath, I ain't never seen nothing like a prison 12 o'clock. I don't know nobody looking like that, I don't know nobody looking like that. I don't know nobody looking like that, I don't know nobody looking like that. Baby, baby, won't you listen to me? I got that flavor. I know you're dying to feed. I ain't no dancer, just got some hip in my feet. Now